CPAP doesn't work anymore. Um, I mean, now it's just military training. I can only sleep in a very specific situation with very specific. It's otherwise I can't sleep unless I'm like dead tired. Um, but anyway, this video isn't about that. Um, I've posted, various places that we've lived over the years where significant targeting, significant harm happened to us, financially or physically or both, or emotionally, psychologically, or all the above. Places like Auburn, Econo Lodge, Countryway Townhomes, Autumn Ridge Apartments, um, Premier Property Management, Midwest Capital Management LLC. I think that covers it. For a period of time, the VA put me in a place called Restoration Outreach or Restoration Outreach Center. Uh, don't ask me why, but I was in a homeless shelter because my stepmother didn't agree with my Catholic faith, and also didn't agree that I wanted to get involved in some kind of evangelism. Not saying assume the cloth again, being a deacon again. I was removed. I was removed because I remarried, and however unfair or unjust it is, because my bishop, ordained me without doing a canonical marriage. Um, so anyway, it's complicated, but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I remarried I've been married a couple of times, and the very last time, I've also been annulled more than once, but my bishop, he removed me because of remarriage. And I mean, he, in his wisdom, that's his choice. But I asked, questioned why he would do that when I didn't even have a canonical marriage to begin with. Um, yeah, but anyway, and also, being that I was trying to help him save his mission because of some stuff that was going on in Southeast Asia and some of his missions. But anyway, I was trying to help him. But in the end, I was disrobed. But I mean, the sad thing is that Russian Orthodox came in and they basically cut his mission into pie pieces, and now there's only a few pie pieces left. I mean, I'm talking mass conversion, 400 people doing baptisms in the ocean. I mean, yeah, it's very, very cool, to see this. Actually, where I was living at the time in Southeast Asia, it was near me. I could have hopped a bus and went there, hop an interprovincial bus. But anyway, it was pretty cool. 400, 500 people baptized and chrismated in a day. That's like apostolic times there. But and then now they have now Russian Orthodox Roll Corps has so many missions throughout Southeast Asia. So the mission that this Archbishop had, our Sayyidina, it was turned into a couple of pieces of pie. But I mean, it is what it is. But I tried to stop it. But anyway, this isn't about that. This is about the targeting of my family at all those places. If I mentioned it, something happened there. And the place we are now currently, um, I keep telling them and nobody does anything. I keep telling Becca management, nobody does anything. Something's going to happen to us. You know, something that is more than has already. You know, somebody keeps interfering in my VA claims locally and at a distance. You know, which is, it may or may not mean anything, but a couple of the places we're connected to right now, or stay at, or, you know, agencies, their headquarters are in Wisconsin, um, which is, you know, it's just very interesting. Because apparently that's where the VA adjudicates compensation claims from, is for my region, is Wisconsin. Um, but you know, people are also, they keep simulating our hotspot. My daughter usually notices it. I mean, I monitor tasks, but I hardly even use my laptop anymore. I'm tired of being hacked. I'm tired of the stress, you know, monitoring tasks, and I see, you know, the internet isn't even on, and I see 5 or 10 people that are hacking in through the shell. I just get sick of it. You know, I know how they do it. Even if our internet is off, we're surrounded by, in the particular place we live now, the way that the schematics of the particular buildings are. At any one apartment, you're surrounded by anywhere from 3 to 5 other apartments, depending where you are, which apartment of the building. And even though these places are empty, they still are broadcasting in SSID. And generally, it's the same accounts. So, again, you know, I certainly don't judge all the black community for what a few are doing. But again, we have that pattern again. You know, people from the black community, particularly in Saginaw County, are targeting us. And this time they do it from a distance. You know, even empty apartments still are broadcasting an internet signal. And, you know, if it gets occupied, it's not that people, it's fraud. You can't get internet and you don't live there. That's fraud. I brought it up to Spectrum. They didn't do anything except hook up a predator family. You know, I've seen the behaviors of their son. You know, I can't say that he's registered or required to register. I can't say that, but I see predatorial behavior. They're gone now. Well, they're gone on paper. But I saw Spectrum hook his building up with an extra connection. Where everybody else, their signal was failing, they got hooked up with an extra connection. That's one of the reasons why I left Spectrum. I'm tired of the weak signal. I'm tired of the lack of security. I just get tired of it. But anyway, you know, besides messing with our internet, somebody keeps simulating our phone so we can't call out. You know, the question is, if a text comes in and out, is it even from who we intend it to be? When you're calling multiple numbers and the call is ended, it doesn't even go out, you're being simulated. Because if you can send and receive a text, you know, again, no guaranteeing where it's coming from, because in a simulator, You can even authenticate texts, but they're coming from uh, sources, phone numbers that are not who you think they are. Um, I mean, if you really sat down and looked at the metadata, you'll find that some of those authentication texts are from nodes in the phone system that are not who you intend to be from. Like if you want to do a Google authentication, you'll find different numbers for an authentic Google connection. An authentic Google authentication for two-factor. I've found that out before. And sometimes I've gotten two different authentication texts from two different sources. That's how I know this. And nobody does anything. And it's not only are we financially threatened, but our safety is threatened too. If something happens in our house to us, this also explains why people from our complexes, between the places we've lived the past few years, they follow us around. Why some people from Countryway and Autumn Ridge ended up at the Auburn Econo Lodge when we were staying there. Of all the places, it's a vet shelter. I mean, I say they have rooms set aside for veterans that the VA and third-party agencies will help foot the bill for veterans that are in bad situations. In our case, our apartment was rented from under us. Even though they say, oh, we never rented it, I was told it was rented and I received a notice to quit. And people say, well, just ignore the notice to quit. If you ignore the notice to quit and it moves to an eviction, you are no longer eligible for a VA voucher for life. So, you're put in a corner and you only have one out. But so they simulate so much, and I'm not having fantasies or hallucinations, audio or visual. I do not think the world is after me. I do not think, let's see, what's another thing? I do not think it's the CIA and the FBI and Jesus that are after me. I think people are organizing against my family and targeting us, and we're not the only ones. Certainly we've got the worst in Saginaw County. We have gotten the worst, but we're not the only ones. This is just a video to put that out there. People mess with our medical care. They mess with our finances. When people don't want to be involved in this, they will threaten them. And, people will go around, generally, like I said, it's people that live in the complexes where we are. They'll go around and sabotage business opportunities, employment opportunities. They'll discourage landlords from renting to us so we can be kept prisoner. That's what it is. And we never move forward. So I'm just putting this video out.